Yo, 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 it is good people. We back in the building. You know what I mean? And today, we got some more gang talk. Real gang members. Gang. You know, like they say in Chicago. But these gangs are motorcycle gangs. So on this platform so far, we done covered the Hells Angels, the Banditos. Now I'm going to introduce y'all to the Warlocks. Straight up. Sound like a dangerous gang, right? Maybe because they are. You feel me? Because the things these guys did to put themselves in this jam was actually confusing at first. So when I first read the article, I'm like, yo, I don't really understand exactly what's going on. And I'm going to read that article to y'all. After I read it, I'm going to break it down to y'all because y'all might not understand it either because it's kind of confusing at first. You know, because over here we believe in equal opportunity. You feel me? If we're going to talk about the things that our community do, we gotta stumble over their ass. It's only right. You feel me? I think that's fair. But the things that these guys did, was was stupid, for lack of better words. You feel me? I don't think that's what they thought it was at the time. I think they thought they was doing something honorable on behalf of the gang, but the way it turned out, it didn't turn out in their favor. Actually, it turned out bad. The situation just went from bad to worse. And I'm going to break it all down to y'all right now.
In patches tied to a motorcycle club, that was the motive behind a deadly attack in southern Indiana, according to the Jefferson County prosecutor. 5 people are now charged, 4 of them charged with murder. Tom Lally is in DuPont, Indiana, where this shooting happened. He's talking to neighbors who say there's more to this story.
DuPont, Indiana is a town of farms and few strangers.
This is a farming community. Everybody, people drive their tractors to the liquor store. It's nothing for a combine to pull up and run in and get a 6-pack of beer.
Then, in the early morning of June 22nd, a man was shot and killed here on John Deere Road.
It was a dead-end road. I was isolated. A lot of people did not know any information about it.
Indiana State Police set up shop here at the DuPont Fire Department for days. Now they're gone and charges are filed. Jefferson County Prosecutor David Sutter explained in a news release that it was gang-related, saying these people came onto this property to beat up a man and take his personal property. People started firing at each other, and 35-year-old Dustin Lindner of Georgetown, Kentucky, died.
The ones that were arrested, most people didn't know them.
Those arrested were members of motorcycle clubs, the Pagans and the Warlocks. Prosecutor Sutter said they were upset the victim had patches and tattoos of those clubs, but was not a member.
You're going to have those few bad apples, and, some might come out of state and some might be born here, But, overall, it's a really good town.
Now, these 5 people are awaiting their day in court as DuPont goes back to business as usual. For the WHAS 1119, I'm Tom Lally.
Y'all have an understanding, as of right now, what's going on. You think you do, but you really don't. Because they keep mentioning this victim. You feel me? Because that was the issue I had with the whole situation. Like, where is all of these people falling in line? Like, who's the victim? We know the guys that committed this robbery or attempted to commit this robbery. But who's the victim? And why are they not really speaking of him like that? You feel me? So, y'all know how I do. I get into doing some more research, trying to look up articles. And this is what I ran across. Billy Goat, the 33-year-old president of the Heavy Hitters chapter within the Warlocks Motorcycle Club, faces 90 to 130 years in state prison for his role in the 2021 shootout death of a member of a Pagans motorcycle club, prosecutors in Jefferson County, Indiana, announced. Indiana court records reviewed by Law and Crime show that Michael K. Conniff of North Vernon was convicted Monday of murder, attempted burglary committed while armed with a deadly weapon, attempted robbery while armed with a deadly weapon, and obstruction of justice. According to Jefferson County Prosecutor David R. Sutter, Conniff and 4 others plotted to rob and beat a man for sporting tattoos and patches without actually being a member of their club. Conniff had previously seen the man with the phony tattoos and patches at a gas station in North Vernon. Conniff traveled to Philadelphia to obtain information about the man before planning the attack. Prosecutors said in a press release the gang members met at Conniff's house prior to traveling to DuPont and made multiple trips to John Deere Road before the shooting. According to the detailed affidavit, evidence showed that the bikers were so enraged by the victims' fake patches and rags that they went on to express their displeasure up close and personal in the real world, not just in their WhatsApp group chat. But when the crime unfolded on June 22nd, 2021, however, the target wasn't the one who ended up dead. Dustin B. Cutter, Linda, a 35-year-old member of the Pagans, was shot and killed by the target, prosecutors said. 54-year-old David K. Faulkner, Karate Dave, 36-year-old Jason W. Brewer, Dutch, and 42-year-old Gary W. Fletcher, Mouth, were identified members of the Warlocks. Brewer stated that Linda said that they were going to get down there, beat the S out of the guy, take his S, and leave, the affidavit says, describing exchanges between the bikers prior to the incident. Following Linda's speech, Brewer stated that Connor had handed him 2 firearms, and that Connor wanted Brewer to carry them because he was legal. Brewer said that he inquired as to why they needed guns if they were just going to beat his ass, and Connor responded that he was prepared to shoot back if needed. Brewer stated that Connor instructed him to leave his cell phone at the residence during the commission of the crime because it could be traced by law enforcement. The documents added Brewer advised law enforcement that the group of Connor's residents had discussed that the target had tattoos associated with the Warlock Motorcycle Club. Also had a cut vest that had patches for the Pagan Motorcycle Club. Brewer stated that they were going to get the cut and ensure that Rudy's tattoos associated with the motorcycle club were removed. That's not what ended up happening. Both previous public reporting and the publicly available probable cause affidavit in the case identified the victim as Sean Rudis. Rudis told investigators he had shot Linda with a .223 rifle after he saw the defendants with guns in hand and heard them looking for him. Apparently, Linda opened the talk to the shed Rudis was hiding in. That decision had eternal consequences. Rudis remained in the shed and saw a shadow begin to open the top that was covering the entrance to the shed. Rudis stated that he then fired shots toward the shadow and that he heard a groan. He stated that he didn't hear anything else for what believed to be a couple minutes, and then multiple shots were fired into the shed. Rudis stated that he called 911. While he was on the phone with 911, Rudis stated that he fired off an additional shot in the direction of one of the vehicles. Officers located a bullet hole in the Chevrolet Cruze consistent with Rudis' statement. Rudis stated that the bullets were coming from the direction of the vehicles. He stated that he started screaming at them, that after a while the vehicles left. The victim further told investigators that he first encountered Connor at a gas station around 2 weeks before the shooting and that they exchanged numbers, to his regret. While at the gas station, he spoke to a male subject that he referred to as Billy Goat about his affiliation with the Warlock Motorcycle Club. Rudis told officers that he exchanged phone numbers with Billy Goat. During their conversation, Rudis showed Billy Goat his tattoos associated with the Warlock Motorcycle Club and was, by his own admission, antagonistic toward Billy Goat. Rudis stated that during their conversation, Billy Goat indicated that he was going to be president of the Warlocks soon. Rudis stated that Billy Goat later contacted him in an effort to meet. Rudis said that although the male subject ensured his safety, he had reservations and ultimately blocked the subject's number. As of Wednesday, Faulkner case remains pending. Court records say trial was set for April. Brewer pleaded guilty to attempted robbery last July. Records show his sentence was moved to February 22nd. Fletcher similarly pleaded guilty last year, but to the charge of attempted burglary committed while armed with a deadly weapon. His sentencing is set for February 24th. Jordan Lowe, aka Pooh Bear, 27, who the affidavit describes as Billy Goat's girlfriend, was charged with assisting a criminal in obstruction of justice. During the course of the investigation, law enforcement viewed Lowe's Facebook profile. Lowe has a photograph for a profile of a subject wearing a vest with the markings associated with the motorcycle club activity. The vest states, property of Botched, Indiana. She pleaded guilty at the end of November 2022 to felony assistant of a criminal. Her sentencing is currently set for February 17th. Court records show Connor's sentences were set for 2 p.m. on March 15th. Now, before I keep going, if you can, make sure you donate to the page, man. We trying to grow, and we doing it for the people. This organic. We ain't got no backing over here. I mean, everything I'm doing on my own dime. So if you can support. Got the Cash App part of the page in my About section, and you can super chat. I would rather it come Cash App because from what I understand, YouTube play games with the super chats. You know, they taking a bite out of crime. You ready? But now we get to the store. So at this point, I'm starting to have an understanding on what's going on, but I'm still kind of confused because, all right, I know these 5 guys went to go rob Rudis. because Rudis was wearing fake patches. They ain't like what he was doing. He was false flagging. You know what I mean? Real gang member stuff. But we know from my last videos that the United States don't consider these guys gangs. They call them outlaw motorcycle gangs. But they really gangs just like the Crips and the Bloods and the BJ. And, you know, so on and so forth. GDs, BDs, all in the same category. So, Rudis happens to have a gun on him. A .223 rifle, AK-47. He not going. Shoots it out with these guys. Then, the victim, who Billy Goat and the rest of the crew end up getting charged for his murder, is actually a guy by the name of Dustin Linder, a.k.a. Cutter, who came with Billy Goat and the crew. Now, these guys, all 5 of them, but it was 6. And that was the confusing thing about this whole story. They kept saying 5 guys, but it really was 6 at first. One of the guys ended up dying, which now we know his name is Linder. Go by the name Cutter. Billy Goat and them get charged with the murder. Now, Billy Goat is facing anywhere from 90 to 130 years in prison. All because he wanted to go out here in the country where these people is farming. They trying to help the agriculture. You know what I mean? They go out here messing with these nice people on their farms, trying to do some gangster activity, and now all in prison. And probably gonna be there for the rest of their life. And they lost a member of their gang in the process. Yo, this story was crazy, yo. Like I say, it was confusing at first until it all started to make sense. But how do y'all feel about this situation? Me, y'all know how I feel about robbers. I don't respect them because there's so many ways to get money out here. These guys thought they was doing something on behalf of the gang. And they really could have just left dude alone. Just don't deal with him. Why y'all wanted to bring harm to this man? Thought he was probably goofy because he was wearing fake patches. But whole time, he ready. And he didn't trust him because you heard the phone conversations. Like, he had actually, Billy Goat planned this for a while. Got his phone number. Was going to bait him in, talk to him real nice. You know what I mean? But Rudis wasn't going for it. He didn't trust him. He actually blocked his phone number. But he still managed to meet up with these guys, but he just happened to be ready. Shot it out with him. Killed one of their mans. Now, he is off the hook to some degree. I think he got to go to court, but he's not facing murder. And I doubt if he's facing 130 years in prison. But how y'all feel about this story, man? Straight up, man. And I like highlighting these stories because these stories don't get highlighted. We would have never known about this unless I speak on it, because I don't think nobody else speaks on these motorcycle gangs and the crime and the devastating things that they doing to the community. You know, they only talk about the things that black people do. But it's a whole nother side. It's a whole nother gang culture that seems to get left out when we talking about gang activity. And that's what I'm here for, man. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you can. Donate to the platform. And I'm out.
I'm probably gonna die if I lead a clan. You got your turn and you turned your back. You turned around, ain't no turning back. I can't be the boss and no us and that. I'm bringing bow and I'm bipping with 2 times. I bought the Drake and the kid got a coupon. Make 20,000 a neck on a futon. Sitting out, cause my brother in Jumon. Why you telling people you selling fentanyl? Why you telling feds you selling shit at all? Why you telling cops if you about to get it all? I'ma tell you then I'm already squeezing. You be dreaming about your dreams. I be living out my nightmares. I been missing, I been bad. The other night she was right there. I be lurking with my bros. I be crying with my mom. She be praying to the Lord that I don't turn into a monster. You be dreaming about your dreams. I be living out my nightmares. I been missing Kevin Bates.